Welcome back to Shaw Spotlight. Last week, I spoke to Joanna from the Thunder Bay Public Library about no contact holds. Today, I'm speaking with Laura because we want to talk about no contact holds is great, but what if you don't know what books to get from the library? What are some of the things that the library is doing to help people, Laura?
Well, we thought about that right away as soon as we realized that all the people who come in who like to browse and look around, they're not going to have the opportunity to do that. And especially with families, we get a lot of families who come in and the kids just sit down and they go through and they find Thomas books. But if a parent wants to place a hold for that child, they probably don't know the author's name, right? So how do you start? So we came up with a new service, and this is brand new to us during this time, and it's called Book Bundles. So how it works is we have two versions, one for kids and one for teens and adults. And you go onto our website, give us your name, your barcode number, and then you choose from a list of pre-selected topics to tell us what you're interested in. So for kids, they could check off, well, my child likes picture books and they are interested in animals. And then we'll pull together 5 books that are on that topic and put them on hold for that person.
Oh, wow. So you actually get to browse through books at home.
Exactly.
That's great.
Exactly. Yeah. So
That,
we've got a set of categories for kids and then different topic categories for adults. And you can request fiction or nonfiction, depending on what you like to read. So really easy for you. If you're not sure how to place holds or you're not sure what you feel like reading, but you can say, oh, maybe a mystery. That's all the information we need. And we will pick those books out for you.
Now, 5 books is a lot of books. This may be a silly question, but how long do you get to keep books for?
I will say 5 books is how many we put for kids. Adults, we jump it down to 3 because we know that might take a bit longer to get through those. We do have the usual due dates, but we're not enforcing them right now. As you know, back in January, we abolished late fines, so you don't have to worry about that at any time. But right now, we recognize these are special circumstances.
Hmm.
So, take your time and bring them back when you're done with them, is all we're asking people.
Perfect. Now, another service that you're doing that's a little different is called a book butler. It's similar to the bundles, but it's just a little bit different.
It is. So if you think, I could just ask for mysteries, but I know exactly what kind of mystery I like to read, and I'd like to make sure I get one of those, then what you'll want to do is fill out our book butler form. So it's a lot more complicated. Instead of just saying, tell us that you like to read, you like cooking books. Now we're going to say, well, if you like cooking books, what kind of cooking books? What's a cooking book you read you didn't like? What's one you loved? And what's the last thing you read that you really enjoyed? So it asks a bunch more questions, but at the end you get really specific recommendations, and these are all chosen by staff who do a lot of reading themselves. So they're going in and digging into exactly what you've liked about those books, and they're going to present you with a list of titles that should really lead you to find some new favorites.
Hmm. And that is difficult. I know I'm a big reader, and once I've read through all of the author that I like's titles, I get lost a little bit. Like I don't know where else to go to. I don't know what else to read.
Exactly.
What's the program called? Read This Next. What is that new as well?
It's entirely new. We just started that back in June, and it's myself and another library staff member, Nicole. And every week we pick a theme. So we started off back in Pride Month in June, and we picked books that had LGBTQ characters or authors. And then, we picked a focus on, we did one for Indigenous History Month. Most recently, we just recorded one on witches. And what we do when we pick our theme is then we go and we pick some titles that are either like award winners in that area or bestsellers, the buzzy ones. And we'll shout those out at the beginning of the episode. And then we go into some personal recommendations of ones that we really enjoyed. And then we'll usually wrap up by either other things we're reading or bits of interesting news from the world of books and reading, because there's always something going on. Was there a new scandal? Happens surprisingly often. Were new awards announced? What's happening? So we put those little bits of detail in there too.
So I found I've been reading a lot more because of COVID because I had a lot more time on my hands. So this is a perfect way for people to get some new books in their hands without having to go and buy them.
Exactly. Exactly. It's all free, and that's one of the great things about the book bundle service. We'll give you 3, and maybe, only one will work for you, but they might all hit. You never know. And now you found a bunch of new authors to check out.
Right. And now can people find all this information on your website and they can sign up for all of this on your website?
They sure can. If you go to the tbpl.ca website, if you go to tbpl.ca/readers, you'll find links to all these services, all of our book list, all our other suggestions. It's all there to get started with.
Now, a friend of mine asked me this and I didn't have the answer for them. So I'm going to ask you, what do you do if you don't currently have a library card?
We can help with that as well. All you need to do is get in touch with us. You can either phone the 684-6814, and library staff will answer that Monday to Friday, 10 to 4. Someone will answer your call, or you can send us an email as well to comments@tbpl.ca. And what we're going to need from anyone who wants a card is their full name and address. If they've had a library card before, then we can get them going right away with a full new card. And if they haven't, then we'll get them started with a limit card so they can still start getting things out.
Well, thanks so much, Laura. That's exciting. It's exciting that you guys are coming up with these new programs. I think it's great, and it just gets books into people's hands.
Exactly. That's what we want. We're just, what we did a lot of brainstorming of like, what are some ways we just want to get the books out the door to the people who want to read them. So let's come up with some innovative ways to make that happen.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for talking with me today.
Thank you.